Hi, I'm Chris. Welcome to my Bay State Kitchen Garden Tour for August 3rd, 2018. Here's a view down the gravel path towards the deck. Some nice colorful plants there. A pink clethra, daylilies finishing up, some phlox in the distance. And there's a butterfly bush planted itself, doing really well this year. It's not as droopy as I would have thought. We've had quite a bit of drought. So it may rain tomorrow, super excited about that, but I have pulled back in some of the crops on the edges of the garden, and I'm trying to just stick close to areas near the hose here that I can water easily and efficiently. Some container planted tomatoes, getting decent production on those. Another one, there's one. Some nice paste tomatoes there. Crops have already come out of some of these beds, but I do have a second sequence of squash going in here, getting almost big enough to bear fruit. Really trying to be sequential in my squash and bean plantings to stay ahead of insects rather than spraying a lot. There's a good big tomato. That's going to have a lot of beautiful paste tomatoes. A little bit of fungus, but nothing that's really worrying yet. Heading over to the main garden, going to go past still a cherry tree in its very first year, doing fine. Rhubarb has been hurt by the drought. I've had to cut back a lot of leaves. I think it'll spring back this fall though. Butternut squash bed there. Look, it's two squash you can see right now, and there's plenty more hidden there among those self-sown nasturtiums. Heading into the main fenced garden, got a big row of sunflowers here. Really tall ones. Those are going to be a lot of fun to bring in as cut flowers. Still getting some good dinosaur kale here. Uncovered it. Some bugs have been chewing on a little, but still plenty for soups and so on. This is my original planting of squash that I had covered, uncovered because it got so big. Been quite productive. Has a nice pale green fruit, very tasty. Arugula too. As long as I keep it well watered, cut it when it starts flowering, I'm getting good production from that. Two kinds of runner beans. This is the lady or queen, I can't remember. It's a bicolor. And then the straight up red. They will not set a lot of beans until the weather cools down, which it hasn't yet. It was 94 yesterday. But plenty of other beans happening in the garden. Oh, more butternut squash running through the aisles here. Watch out. So I had some rattlesnake pole beans plant themselves. Here they are. Purple flowers, great striped fruit, delicious tender fruit. So I just am going to let them do their thing here. I put some poles in with them. That's some rampantica, or however you call it. I call it rampant. Squash along the fence. It's in the butternut family, but you eat it fresh. Back in here, lots of yellow wax beans. Tom, my husband, loves those. They're very productive. Got them planted sequentially so that when this crop is done, let's step over here. We'll move on to these little guys that I planted a few weeks ago. Lots of beautiful zinnias grown from seed in the garden. And another thing Tom loves is Hungarian wax peppers. And look at the peppers on this sucker. They're great for pickling too. Got some 4 o'clocks here, very fragrant flowers. Those usually plant themselves all over the garden, and I let them. Big planting of tomatoes. I'm going to be picking a whole bunch of those in the morning. Start freezing some. More sequential squash covered here to protect it when it's little. Artichoke plants, we'll see what they do. Someone gave them to me. I'm going to try them out. Another planting of pole beans, rattlesnake again. I really love them because they're tender. And I did, even though I'm doing a pretty good rotation, I did let a few tomatoes plant themselves. And this is probably going to be a cherry tomato. We'll see. And my tower of morning glories. Looking forward to those blooming. I have learned to keep the pole beans and the morning glories on separate towers. Otherwise, they compete and you don't have as many flowers or as many fruit. That's my Bay State Kitchen Garden Tour. It's August 3rd, 2018, and I'm Chris.